my God. Oh my God. So, guys, look. Sorry if you hear a little music. Let's see. Hey guys, this is Fabio coming back with another video. Listen. I want to get this video out the way. And I'm sure at some point I have talked about this. Guys, please listen. Listen. If I don't know anything else, I know how to collect my payments from my clients. Okay, so I just got a phone call. Okay, listen to me. I just got a phone call from a subscriber. I won't say who she is, but I did tell her I was going to go live. She said, don't mention my name. This and this. I got you. Okay, but listen, this is a lesson. This is something that I think everybody need to know how to do. And I personally believe it's the way that you deal with the client. I don't know what's up with the zooming in and zooming out, but I think it's personal. I think it's the way you deal with the client, number one, and I think it's the paperwork. Okay? I think it's the client and I think it's the paperwork. Guys, listen. Listen to me now. I just got a panic call from a subscriber. She said what she told me was that her client is 2 months behind in paying her. Listen to me now. The client is 2 months behind in paying her. She has a job, okay? She has a job. So she says she works nights, right? And she would get off like really, really late. By the time she get off, it's like the next morning, like really late. And so she says she can't really clean this particular site. She can't clean the site. So her employee, let me see how her employee called her and told her if she didn't get the check, because she's late paying the employee, if she didn't get the check, that the employee was gonna quit, essentially, and that place would not be able to get clean because she says she cannot clean the place because she has a job. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's either one of three things. It's either one of three things. It's a paperwork issue. It's I guess you've been too friendly, right? You getting too close where they feel comfortable that they can do that. Or number three, uh it's a billing issue. Okay? And what I mean by billing issue is you supposed to send your payables out, right? I tell people, listen to me now. I tell people all the time, I say, send your invoices out. When you invoice the client, send the invoices out maybe like 2 to 3 days before the first. Okay, if you're billing on the first. If you're doing it bi-weekly, guys, about 2 days before that payment is due bi-weekly. So if it's due on the 15th, then you would send it out on the 12th, right? Like 3 days, 2 days, right? 13th on the 12th or the 13th, right? So by the 15th, that check could be ready, okay? Or by the first, that check can be ready, okay? You have to get those invoices sent out on time because you got to remember, guys, you're not the only vendor or client that they have, right? They have security, they have lawn care, they have all these other services. And I'm sure those guys are getting their money. So why isn't the cleaning company, you guys cannot be friendly with these people, okay? You do a good job, you're supposed to get the pay. I do not, for whatever reason. I don't know why. For whatever reason, I'm not saying I never have, but for whatever reason, I don't have these billing issues. So my subscriber called me in a panic. She said, Fabio, what should I do? I think I'm going to lose this account because I absolutely cannot clean the account. And my employee, I've been owing my employee like back pay for a very, very long time now. She said she's been paying her employee out of her check, but she can't give her employee her whole check, so she just give them pieces. This is the reason why I say work 30 to 60 days in any account before you even hire an employee. This is the reason. This is what I came up with. No one ever taught me this. No one ever told me this. Okay, I don't care what you hear on another YouTuber channel or whatever. This is why it works for me. Work 30 to 60 days in. Okay, it can be tiring. I know if you got like 4 accounts, 5 accounts, right? And you still have a family, you still have a day, you have to make this thing work. I don't know what's up with this, why this thing is like this. You have to make this thing work. You have to. It's paramount that you have to. Okay? Because the last thing you want is someone writing a bad review on Yelp or somebody writing a bad article about you saying that your company, don't live up to the standards or whatever the case is, guys. It's paramount that you do this. Okay? Again, I'm telling you, if you don't understand what I'm saying, email me. Email me, leave me your name and telephone number. I'll call you back and I kind of explain this. I got to break it down even more. Okay? I want you guys to get paid. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever you should be working in anybody's facility and you're not getting paid. And a damn sure it shouldn't be 60 days. So that means you've been cleaning. What up? I'm finally putting my job next week. Awesome. I'm gonna get to you in 1 second, Nate. 1 second. Hang with me, but there's no reason why you guys shouldn't be getting paid. Okay? Either it's a billing issue or you didn't got too friendly, you got too cozy with them, right? And they think it's okay that they can pay you late, or you're not sending the invoice out on time. Okay? You're not sending the invoice out on time. Or like I say, if the money is a factor, that's why I tell people to work 30 to 60 days in. Work 30 to 60 days in if money is a factor. Okay? Because like I say, when you do it that way, when you work, you allow yourself to accumulate that money, right? So that money will be there. So when it's time to hire somebody, you at least have some starter funds to work with, right? Plus your job, whatever, if you're still working, but you have to make it work. Okay, now if you have one of those type of jobs, you're working midnight, whatever the case is, you're not able to clean the account under no circumstances, then you have to find a way to delegate this work out. It's either that or you'll be quitting your job and you'll be going full time into this thing if you wholeheartedly believe in it. But I wouldn't want you to do that either. And then bills become due at home, rent become due, all of this. And my subscriber is in a total panic, right now. So I had her to email me a copy of her agreement. And I'm going to read through the agreement. I'm going to see what the stipulations is. Here's another thing, guys. If you feel like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be paid on a net 30, bill it on a net 15. Let them know that you're doing a net 15, which is bi-weekly. You're going to pick up a payment from them bi-weekly. So you still write it up in the bid as the total monthly amount due, but you will have to itemize it to a certain degree to show what's due bi-weekly. I don't know why I hate this focus. So that way you'll be able to itemize like what's due on a bi-weekly stand. Do that make sense, guys? Do that make sense? If you have an agreement, like, just let me read it. Send it over to me, let me read it. Okay? Just let me read what you have and I could tell you how to tweak it. Right? I'll call you. I could email, I can have my assistant Jasmine email you back. Again, you need to get the paperwork together, because sometimes it's a paperwork issue. When it's certain things isn't stated in the paperwork, they think it's a free-for-all to kind of F you over. Okay? When certain things isn't stipulated in your paperwork, they think it's a free-fall. God damn, this is making me mad. Excuse me, guys, for this auto focus. It usually doesn't do that, but they think it's a free fall to fuck you over if the paperwork isn't right. Okay, so read your agreement. Again, I want you guys to pick up contracts. You should be out marketing. You should always be picking up contracts. I want you guys to do that, but I don't want you to do that and then you're gonna lose it as soon as you get it. I do not want you guys picking up contracts and you're going to lose them as soon as you get them. Now, this young lady, she's 60 days in. She has not gotten one payment. Yet she's worked those days for 2 months. So she's owed 2 months worth of payments. If you don't get a payment in 30 days, don't keep working. Don't keep working. Now, when I have, and I'll let you guys know what I do. When I haven't received the payment, the first thing I do is I place a phone call. I don't have time really for the paperwork. I used to, in the very, very beginning, I used to write a letter, give them and they don't respond to that, and that's a warning letter. Now this is the urgent letter right here, with the colorful paper and the big print on it and all of that. Man, I'm trying to get to the check. I'm trying to get to the bag. I don't have time to play the games. I still have that paperwork. If you guys want to get those letters from me, you can get them. It's going to come at a cost. Everything come at a cost for me. It costs me, right? But you can get the exact same letter, and you can just change, whatever you want to manipulate it, what you want to do, okay? But the urgent letter, I got the urgent letter, and I got like the failure of payment letter, right? So it's like the failure of payment, and then it's an urgent failure of payment. Like, we need to collect now, right? I very rarely have to, because I pick up the phone and it's a phone call really quick. Talk to the decision maker, let them know, hey, what I need. We're going to put the service on pause until we get the payment. You don't keep cleaning a facility and you haven't received payment, especially on a 30-day situation. On a 30-day situation, you just don't keep cleaning. Because if they didn't pay you in 30 days, what make you think they're going to pay you in 60 days? At least collect that 30-day payment. If money is an issue for them, you can, revisit your agreement. You can revisit what you charge them. If, they feel like it's too high, if it's not in their budget, because you don't want to be cleaning every single month and then have this show up as a problem, guys. You don't want to have this show up as a problem. No account, big, small, or medium. It doesn't matter. You don't want to have this happen every single month or be worried about, will I be able to make my payments? Will I be able to pay my employees? Will I be able to pay my bills? Okay. So like I said, one of my subscribers, she has my phone number. She, a pretty good subscriber. And she called me in a panic. What should I do, Fabio? Can you help me? Is it something that I need to say? She's in a frantic because her employee said if the employee doesn't get the check by the end of the day today, the employee will not show up for work. The employee will not, and I don't blame the employee. The employee have bills too, right? So this put her in a bind because she's feeling like she's going to lose the account because she can't clean it because she's at her job. The employee would normally clean it while she's at work, but the employee is not going to show up because the employee haven't been paid, which essentially what's going to happen is she's going to lose that account. She said she can't afford to lose that money. So this is 2 months of payments, right? And I will give you guys a range. I won't tell you exactly how much she's charging them, but she's charging them between $500 and $700 monthly. $500 and $700 monthly. So I'll leave it there. If you double that twice, you got an idea how much she's owed. Okay? Between 5 and 7 monthly. Okay? So if you need about that, guys, that was a call. If you need to let a client go due to non-payment, let a client go. If you need to let a client go due to non-payment, let a client go. Now let me see what Nate is talking about here. What's up, bro? I'm finally quitting my job next week. I'm making a little bit more in my business than my job. I know I need to hire, but I'm thinking about working 5G's worth of accounts then hiring. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Give yourself a certain quota, or you can say I'm gonna work a year in, I'm gonna work, 6 months in. I've told people that all the time. I had a couple that got a really large account, and I told them, I say, well, why don't you just, because it's so large, why don't you just collect 6 months of payments, at least 6 months to a year, you and your wife. He say him and his wife, she's willing to help him out. I say, well, why don't you and your wife go ahead and do it for the entire year, or like at least 6 months at the very least. You collect that, and then you can put a body in there, because now you got 6 months worth of payments. And his account, he's generating, that's an $8,000 a month account. That's one of the accounts I helped him get $8,000. It's a big facility, okay? But it happened to be his first account. So I said, yeah, you and your wife go ahead and do it for 6 months to a year. And then after the year, after the 6 months, you reevaluate where things is, where you're at financially. And then, hey, how's it going? Hello. Then you evaluate where you're at financially, and then you go ahead and put a body in there or put a couple bodies in there. Okay? But sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Guys, do not let these people get over on you going 60 days, no payment. Okay? Because if you're going to do that, you might as well just go out, hold one of those signs, say I work for food, give me a few peanuts so I can get me a Big Mac value pack. Okay? Because essentially that's what you're doing now. Do not let these people, your professionalism, don't be really cool with them. Be polite, be stern. Let it document in the paperwork. Here, the payment is due on the 1st of every month, on the 5th of every, whatever it is. Let them know it's in the agreement. You point it out, you can highlight it, you can underline it, whatever the case is. Okay? But again, I want to make sure that the paperwork is reading right. Because if it's something that I see, if you send your paperwork over to me and it's something that I see that's you should add, or you should probably take out, or you should replace with something else, I will let you know. Just email it over to me, send me a picture copy of it, make sure it's legible, make sure I can read it, and I'll go ahead and read it from top to bottom. And if it's something that I need to adjust, or you should adjust, or whatever the case, not me, but if it's something you should adjust, I will let you know based on what my agreement read. I got my agreement right here. I keep them on deck. I got at least 10 agreements in here. So I will pull mine out, take my phone, and I'll read yours, and I'll go line to line. I know mine is official. Mine is going to work. I will read yours from line to line and see where you're at with it. Okay? So again, if you don't do a net 30, guys, like I say, if you don't do a net 30, do a net 15. Let them know we're doing a net 15. Which means you're going to pick up a payment every 2 weeks. So if the bill is $1,000 a month, then you pick up $500 in 2 weeks, because that'll equate to $1,000. Hopefully this makes sense, guys. Okay. Same thing with your residential clients. With your residential clients, you should get paid after each cleaning. The check should be there after each cleaning. You should get paid. Don't let them go past a week. I would say give them up to a week. Give them up to a week to cut the checks. Okay? This is with your residential clients. If you can collect it right, collect it after each cleaning. Jesus, I hate the fact that I don't know why this is feeding in like it's doing. I don't know why. But yeah, if you need to, for your residential, if you need to collect, once a week on Friday, collect on Friday. I don't care how many days you clean during the week, collect it on Friday, all on Friday. If it's once a week and you don't get it directly after the cleaning, then you can span it out to the next day. The payment is due Tuesday or Wednesday, the next day, or whatever the case is. Okay? You got to be able to get your money. Because when you hold up on your employee money, that not only mess with your employee money, that mess with your bills, your personal bills, that mess with your company bills. You got to pay for your phone. You got to pay for marketing material. You got to, you got advertising costs. You got all of these different costs, right? That's why I tell you guys, offer them, and I guess I'll talk more about this on the video by itself. Offer them the opportunity to use their credit card, their company credit card, personal credit card. You don't give it down. Okay, excuse my French. I'm sorry to sound ruthless, but at the end of the day, it's business. Just like it's business with them. They're not gonna. If you got a dentist office, he's not gonna let you walk out of there without paying the copay if a copay is due. He's not gonna let you walk out of there. He's not gonna even start you until they can charge the service. They want to make sure the money is there. Whether they charge it on your card, whether you pay in cash, whether you have a money order, or whether they billing your insurance company. They're going to make sure that the money is there, and they're going to start doing your dinner work. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand exactly where I'm coming from. Just like they want to be paid, they're not going to let you get away with murder. You can't let them get away with murder, guys. Let me see here. Hey Tay, how you doing, love bud? Let me see. Let me see what he's talking about. They say we do charge on the 20th of every month for payment due on the 5th. So we get paid. Yeah, see, and that's good. I mean, if you can get paid ahead, more power to it. Most companies know that it goes a net 30, so most won't fall for it. Okay, most know that you're gonna work 30 days in, especially if they had a cleaning company before, whether it's a franchise or whether it's an independent company provider. Most won't prepay you because essentially they want to make sure that you do what they're paying you for. So most companies, big, small, or medium, they already know that we're going to be billing you on some type of net, whether it's a net 15 or a net 30. I know some people that bill out on a net 120. I know some people that bill out on a net 60. I don't go past a net 30. I don't go past a net 30. And I don't have any problems collecting payments. I got accounts in Georgia, accounts in Ohio, and accounts in Michigan. Okay? And when those payables go out, when we send the invoices out, we know that they got them. The invoices go out, they know exactly how much is due. If we have the credit card information, like I stated on the last video, we go ahead and we charge it on the due date. So if it's due on the 1st, we go ahead and charge it on the 1st. We still send it out on the 29th of every month, the 28th or whatever, the 30th, whatever day we send it out. But on the 1st, we're billing a credit card. Okay? Or we expect the check, we give you a couple of days. Now, if you mail it into, like our P.O. box or something, we give you a few extra days. We'll give you up to like 4 days, extra. Because, sometimes shit happens. You understand? But like after 4 days, we're going to be kind of, on your tail what happened to the payment. But I don't have those issues, guys. But I don't play any games with them. I'm not extra friendly with them. And I explain the agreement. That's why I say make sure you explain the agreement. Make sure they have a clear understanding when payment is due. Payment is due on the 1st. If that's when it's due on your company. If it's due on the 5th, you highlight it. Okay? You give them a copy of it if they want a copy of it. If not, you always keep the master copy. Okay? And then if they had a problem and they say, oh, that's not true or that's not, you say, yeah, yes it is, sir. Yes it is, ma'am. We can revisit the agreement here. Let's reevaluate this agreement that we both signed and dated. Yes, this is absolutely correct. Okay? So again, I hate that she's in a panic. I'm waiting. She probably did send the email. I told her send me a copy. Now I want to read the agreement from top to bottom. I want to see what her agreement looked like so I can tell her what to add in, what to take out, a few things. It might take some time, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I don't know where she got it from. She didn't purchase it from me. So I don't know where she got her agreement from, but I do want to read it. I do want to make sure it state what it should state. Okay. Let me see here. Thank you for sharing all the positive information. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's Tay Lovebug. Have no contract yet. You will have some soon. Just keep at it, bud. Keep at it. Lil Deezy, Fabio is the GOAT. Fucking right. Excuse my French, but you guys know how I rock over here. I'm relentless. I gotta get, I gotta get it. I gotta get it because I can't tell my employee, hey, I didn't get paid today. So, I don't know what to tell you. That's why I tell you guys, if you need to pay your employee once a month, pay them once a month. There's companies out here that literally, commercial cleaning companies out here that literally pay out once a month. Right? They know when they're going to get their check on the 15th, whatever part of the month, whatever day, you guys, they know when they're going to get their check. And you got to make sure the money is there. I don't care if you 1099 in them. I don't care if you W2 in them. If you got people working for you, they're not going to stay around if you don't pay them. And if you want to kind of watch where I fucked up with that, excuse my French, but it is what it is, then go watch my first $5,000 check video. It's still up here on YouTube. See how I screwed up, right? How I thought I was a big shot before my time. My first $5,000 check video. Go watch that video. Go watch that video, right? And see what happened with my employees. You're talking about somebody that was terrified. I was just as nervous as her, but I learned really quickly. I cleaned up my act and I saved my company. Let me see what Hot Dog said. I always charge a month or two in advance. You guys are lucky, man. A month or two in advance for any account. I believe reviews and reference are important in our business. Yeah, reviews, reference are important, you know, but I mean, you can get like, you can see what reviews and saying based on what how the company operate their reviews. That don't have anything to do with them paying you. I don't know if that's what if that's what you mean, but you know, it reviews, references, you know, that mean a lot in this industry. That mean a lot, you know, really in any industry. You know, every time I go and book a hotel, I'm looking at reviews. Every time I go book a rental car, I'm looking at reviews. Every time I'm going to do something, a service that I'm not too familiar with, I'm looking at reviews, right, online, seeing what they're saying. You understand? So, but I don't solely base things on reviews, but I do take a look at reviews. You understand? But like I said, guys, I want you guys to get your payments. If you got payments that's due to you, I told somebody you need to turn up the heat. I had one of my subscribers, we was talking about it. A company owed him. This must have been last week or maybe the week before last. You know, company owed him, and I told him, I say, hey, you need to turn up. You need to send him a letter. He said they keep jerking me around and keep saying this and that, and they're gonna pay me, and you know it's gonna be on this day, and I call them, it's not available, and then you need to get the media. You need to expose them. You know, and if you guys got to go that route, you got to go that route. You expose them, you'll get your money then because that's gonna bring bad publicity. They don't want bad publicity, and it's a shame. I mean, it's gonna bring you more clients because you're in the news, but it's gonna bring them bad publicity. It's a shame you have to go that far, but you have to do what you have to do to collect the payment. You know, I try to tell people if you can stay out of litigation, stay out of litigation because a lot of times the money that's owed to you is not even worth filing to go to court for a small claim suit, which is a lot of times what it'll be under. It's not even worth it a lot of times, right? So if somebody owe you $500, let's say to file the paperwork, it might be $100. So that's like $400 out of your money. If you win the suit, obviously you'll get the money back. But you have to think, is it really worth it? Now, if they owe you some thousands, you know, 2 or 3,000 might be worth it. You understand? So you have to kind of, you know, pick and choose, you know, how you're going to deal with litigation. Okay? Like I said, man, I really want you guys to get these accounts. Do not be too friendly. Double check your paperwork and make sure you send out invoices on time. Okay? Do not be too friendly. Check your paperwork. When I mean by check your paperwork, check your agreement, right? Make sure it details everything, because sometimes it's clauses in there, sometimes it's things left out, and once they feel like they can get over, they keep getting over for as long as they feel like they can. And check your invoices. Make sure you invoice it on time. Make sure it hit their office when it's supposed to hit their office. Don't come invoicing them and bringing them an invoice the day of when payment is due. I like to do it 2 or 3 days before the first. 2 or 3 days before the first, because that allows them to get the check ready. You guys also can look into accepting credit cards or other method of payments that you can automatically, you know, debit out of account or automatically charge. Okay? So again, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I just wanted to tap in with you. Let me see if I have any more questions. If you guys have any more, you can send them to me. You can always email me at bookfabiohart@gmail.com. If you got an agreement or you got, whatever you want me to take a look at it, bookfabiohart@gmail.com. That's BOOK, F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART at gmail.com. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. Book FabioHart@gmail.com. Okay? You guys can send me what you have. I'll take a look at it. If Jasmine get it, she'll make sure I take a look at it and leave your number, man, because I may need to call you back and talk to you personally about something. So once you send it, just say, hey, my name is such and such. Here's my number, and here's the agreement, or here's my estimate, or here's what I got going on. Okay? That way I'll be able to get back with you guys. The advance payment, yeah, but most companies won't pay that out, hot dog. I'm just being honest. Most companies won't do it. Small companies, you will find some companies that go ahead and cut the check, but for the most part, most companies know that it's coming with a net 30, which means you're going to do the job first and build them, and then they're going to pay you. Okay? That's just typical in the industry. Okay? That's franchise, independent, um, carpet cleaning service, a lot of power washing services, even with window cleaning. You can do window cleaning. Right now, I'm at Tim Hortons, my favorite spot. And if I solicit them to do their windows right now, you know, yeah, I do a little contract or whatever the case is, but I'm going to do the job first, and then they're going to cut the check. They're going to pay me, most likely because it's Tim Hortons going to come from a corporate standpoint. They're not going to pay out of pocket. It's going to come from a corporate deal. You understand? So, like I say, that's good that you're getting it, but I'm just saying, I'm just being honest with my subscribers. That won't happen to everybody. You can definitely make that a suggestion. You can make that a suggestion and say, this is what we do. We've had, in the past we had certain circumstances, situations, but you want to have it detailed in the paperwork. You want to make sure it's in your paperwork. Okay? You want to make sure it's in your paperwork, because if you ever have to go to court, you want what's on paper to stand up versus what you told them, because they're going to say you didn't tell them anything. I'm just being honest with you. Okay? Oh, he didn't tell us that. He didn't say that. But the judge is going to go by what the paperwork say. And once your paperwork stand up, I'm so heavy on paperwork. That's why I tell you guys. Even when I was offering mine, I tell people all the time. I say, hey, you didn't have to purchase mine. Just make sure you evaluate. Just make sure you have a great agreement. A great agreement. Okay? Because like I say, when they find loopholes and flaws in your agreement, they tend to try to work that over because it's not in the agreement. Hey Miguel, what's up? So, like I said, guys, I definitely want you guys to get paid. To my subscriber, the young lady, I'm gonna call her back. I think she probably did send the email with her agreement. I'm gonna read her agreement from top to bottom. Um, I told her I don't usually offer my agreement, but if her agreement is shot, then I agree I cut her a deal, on my agreement, since I don't really offer it like that. Make sure, because I would rather her have a value agreement than just a shitty agreement that she's trying to use, trying to get off, and it's not worded right, or it's not reading it correctly. Or I can tell her what to put in and what to take out, and she can manipulate it at her leisure. You understand? So again, guys, that's what I want you guys to do, man. Make sure you get those invoices out. Make sure you invoice on time. Don't be extra friendly. Don't go in always joking with these people. Don't go in always laughing and yeehaw and bringing them, Reese cups and things like that. Don't do that, because then they get too comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of achievement. It's when they get so comfortable that they get too relaxed and they think they can play with you a certain way, and you don't want them to think that they can play with you a certain way. Okay? I know I might seem aggressive with my approach, guys, but I'm telling you, it works. Just remain professional through it all, though. Some franchises, yeah. Right, have it all in your contract. You know, if that's the way you operate and you expect a payment up front, you know, due to things that's happened in the past, then go ahead and put it in there. I'm not against it if you can go ahead and collect the payment. I'm just saying most companies won't do it. Some companies are caught up in their ways. It's times where I wanted to bill on a net 15, and companies say, "Sorry, sir, we don't do it. We only do a net 30 because that's how we do our payables. We send all our payables out at one time once a month, so we won't do a net 15." So at that point, I had to make a decision. Well, should I go along with the net 30? And many times you do. You say, well, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I was trying to collect it on a net 15, but I do a net 30. And a lot of those clients I still have to this day. But I was trying to collect it on a net 15 because I like to diversify my income. I like to have some accounts where I'm getting paid on a net 15 and some accounts where I'm getting paid or majority of my accounts are on a net 30. And then I got a great deal of accounts that's on a net 15, and then I have the homes that we do for residential. We get paid on those daily, so they already know what the check is, how much the check is for. The check is usually ready at the end of the cleaning, so we generally don't have a problem. Okay. Same thing with our window washing. My company offer window washing. We don't have a whole hell of a lot of window washing clients, but we do have our fair share of window washing clients. We get paid. We make sure they invoice in. We make sure they sign off on it. So the minute we clean, if we invoice them, we'll leave them with like a little check, like a little ticket. They have to sign off on it. They got their copy. We have our copy, and bam, that's it. So we just wait for the check, okay, with the window cleaning jobs, okay. So like I said, guys, just make sure your paperwork stand up. Don't be extra friendly with them and get those invoices out on time, okay. You guys have any further questions before I get out of here? I really hate this happen to my subscriber. I really hate that it happened because, if she watched my videos and if she a long-term subscriber, she should have kind of knew better. But I don't want to beat her up, while she's down. But she's in a total panic right now, and I just don't want anybody else to fall in that situation. You can have the most professional look, you can look your best, but if you allow these people to F you over one time, they'll continue to do it. So you have to nip it in the bud really, really quick, guys. You have to nip it in the bud really quick. Okay? Man, I need to do something to this nappy head. I think I get braided or something. It's a mess. So, you guys have any more questions for me? Have any more questions? Have any questions, guys? Have any questions before I end the live? Do you have any questions for me? Again, if you need to send me anything, if you need to inquire about anything, whether it's to help you out, whether it's a coaching, whatever it is, you want me to take a look at your irresistible flyer, your business card, guys, I don't know everything, but I do know a lot, and my material do stand up. It do. I always revise, you know, I keep everything in here. You understand? I keep everything in here. My flyers, my business cards, my contracts is in here. Applications is in here. Non-compete, non-disclosure, uh, invoices, right? Proposal sheet, proposal forms is in here. Everything is in here. You understand? So like I say, I'm always ready. And you always have to be ready. I tell you guys, keep this in your car. Keep it in your trunk. If you need to get you a folder, I got this from Myers. You can get it from Walmart or whatever. Nice, healthy folder. keep it in your car, keep it on you at all times, because you can walk in a facility, like I say, and you never know how it's gonna go. They might demand a you do your walkthrough, they might demand a request for a proposal. Okay, so but you want to be ready to go. You want to be ready. Okay, this stuff is very important. It's very important, and make them look at you a certain way. When you sharp like that, when you got everything, they feel confident in hiring your company at that point. What do I think about business credit? Business credit is great. You know, it allow you to not have to pay anything like right away. You know, depending on what it is. Like if you're going for cleaning supplies, you can go to the office. uh, you can go to the janitor supply store, and if you got a business, account set up, you can get a lot of stuff on business credit, which means you can just get things at will, and they'll bill you later for it. You understand? So business credit is beautiful. Sometimes business credit can help you uh, get your personal credit together. Like if you got terrible personal credit and you got a great deal of business credit, sometimes you can leverage that business credit and help in getting your personal credit together. So I'm all for business credit. You know, when you got business credit, you can get like company vehicles, or you can get vehicles. Um, it's just a lot of great things at your disposal that you can get. So you guys have any more questions for me? Any more questions? You guys have any more questions for me? Do I know it? Yeah, I know how to leverage. Don't be desperate. It's plenty of money. Yeah, don't be desperate. Yeah. There's plenty of money out here having to chase money. Build your company slowly. The money will come. That's definitely right. That's definitely right. Build your company slow, and the money will come. But when money is a factor, it's kind of hard to tell somebody to build it slow. So I like to tell people to stay steady at it. Stay steady, whatever your method of marketing is. Whether you going door to door, you picking up the phones, whether you're sending out mailers, whether you're using social media platforms and things like that. You got to stay active. You got to stay aggressive with the approach. You can't give it up. You can't give it up, because it's easy to say, well, money isn't a factor, but when you got shit becoming due, money does become a factor. And and I'm just speaking, just logically, just on a larger scale, right? But you also don't want to F around and get the wrong client either. Just doing it just for the money. And I tell people that all the time, right? So you want to evaluate things, like when you go in and put your estimate in, look at your numbers before you put them in. Don't just go cheap because you need to hurry up and get some money. You need to get an account because you're going to pay for it in the long run. Every company has underbid it. And the way that these franchises is going, they're making it really, really hard for you to get accounts, because they're coming in very low. They're coming in at very low, which is why I tell people to cross-sell or upsell something else. That way you'll be able to kind of swipe that account. So you can charge a little bit more money, but because you upsell something or you cross-sell something else, you have something else included in that price that they find or they deem to be, important, you'll be able to get it for a higher price than what they're currently paying with the franchise. That's what I found worked for me. Okay. So I'm assuming that it could work for you. Okay. But it's very competitive out here. You got new startups all the time. New startups all the time just popping up. Somebody got a window cleaning business. Somebody just started a carpet cleaning. Somebody just started a janitorial service. Janitorial services is one of the most demand business and the easy to start up business ever. So people are doing that at the drop of a dime, and they're starting to make $5 grand, $10 grand, $15 grand a month, no cap. I'm talking about people that's homeless, people that's been on welfare, people that's have no education, people that got a lot of education, like teenagers. They get two of their friends and all three of them go out and they solicit and get new business. Like, this is one of the most easiest businesses that you can start up, right? And the profit range is through the roof because you don't have a lot of overhead. So your profit margins is great, right? Because your business cost is low, right? So your profit margin is greater. That's the one thing that I love about it. Can I get a template to use to create bids? I don't know. You can search online. You say a template to create bids. Most I can tell you probably could search online and see, what's online. Um, you can do research and create your own type of template. So, you guys have any more questions? Uh, well, you can let them know that due to the cost of the marketplace and the cost in your bills that you have to revisit, and or you could just when you turn in like your when you turn in like your invoice, you could just have a short attachment letter, stating you need to up the price a little bit. And if they're either with it, you can up the price and save the account. That way you don't have to get out of it. Or you can put in the 30-day. That's what should be in your contract. That's the easiest part. Like in my contract, you got a 30-day either way. So, which means you'll work one more month, you get that one more month worth of payment, and then at 30-day you'll be out. Or they can give you 30 days based on your agreement, and then you'll be out, or they'll be out. Understand? So, to save the account, you can see about upping the price, reevaluating the original agreement, the original proposal that you did. If it's fair enough, they might stick with you. Um, if they feel like it's too much, they might cancel you anyway. But and here's what I'm going to tell you guys: if you put in an estimate, bid, or proposal, whatever you want to call it, and they jump at it like that, you did something wrong. If they look at your numbers and without thinking or without blinking, we want you to start immediately. Can you start on the first? That quick? Something is wrong with your numbers. Something is wrong with your numbers. If they look at your bid and by the time you leave the office, before you get back home, they call you and say, hey, we spoke it over with my manager. I spoke it over with the rest of the staff, or, whoever they got to, speak it over with. We want to give you guys a shot. And you just left 30 minutes ago. Something is wrong with your numbers. You probably came in too low. You came in too low. That's my suggestion. You guys have any more questions for me? I want to get these questions off, guys. I just want to make sure you guys understand where I'm coming from. I really want you guys to, please, if you missed the earlier part of this video, please play it back, as it's paramount that you do. Some really exciting information in the beginning, as I do talk about, like I say, collecting these payments, not allowing things to go, 30 days in arrearage, 60 days in arrearage. Okay, you need to collect, and you need to collect ASAP. Okay, so you gotta, again, that's part of you guys' system. Everything is a system. Your operation is a whole system. Your business is a whole system. Everything need to be in place. You're welcome. Tupac. Everything needed to be in place. Everything needed to be in place. Now, nothing happens overnight, so you work towards it, but you work on building the system. Okay, let me see here. In 3 offices, and they meet at the end of the month. But I'm working on an estimate for the others. Should I up the price on those? Yeah, you can up the price on those. You know, so if you're working for one company, you got to put a bid in for, you know, the same company, but other buildings. You can up the price on them. You know, the charging, just boils down to what you want to charge. The only thing that they could say is yes or no. You want to at least be at the bare market rate though for your area, whatever the bare market rate going in your area, you at least want to charge at the bare market rate for your area. But obviously speaking, the more you charge, the more profit margin you have. Okay. You guys have any more questions for me? Just want to make sure I get this stuff off, guys. Because like I said, I really hate to see my subscriber struggling. She called me like literally hysterical. She's like, "Oh, I'm about to lose my employee," and she said if I don't have the money by the end of the business day today, she's not gonna be able to work for me no more, and I might lose the contract because I'm not gonna be able to clean. You know, it's just a terrible situation. I'm like, well, how does your contract read? What's going on? I say, are you invoicing them on when are you invoicing them? So that's what prompted this video, right? Because all of this stuff is part of your system. You got to do this stuff every single month. It should be the same way. Every single McDonald's is a system. I say that all the time. They make the Big Mac value burger, whatever the case is. They make it the same way every day. You understand? So again, you guys have to, once you get the system together, you got to keep that system up. You got to operate the same way. You guys got any more questions for me? Want to make sure we get this off. Again, if you need to email me for any reason, you need coaching, I would love to have you. I give you, like I said on the other video, is normally $300 an hour, which is worth every bit of it. I got people to pay that on a regular, but I give it to you guys $100. 1 hour coaching is damn sure worth it. Ask anybody that ever been on it, right? So if you want coaching and you want, me to kind of help you create a system, at least on paper, all you have to do is execute it in the flesh, execute it in the real world. Okay? And every situation is different. So I hear your story out. I listen to your story. I tell you what I would do if I was you, what options you have, and all of that stuff. $100 per hour for the coaching. And generally speaking, you don't need no more than 2 hours. 1 hour usually gets it though. And that's just being fair, not to oversell you guys anything. Okay? But if you need me, you want me to help you with your estimate, I don't charge for that. So if you got an estimate you need to get in today before 5, before 6, email me. Let me know so we can get on the phone. Send me the details. Okay? If you have an agreement you want me to take a look at, send it to me. Screenshot it to me. Take a picture of it. Email it. Forward it to me. Right? So I can take a look at it. I'll tell you what I would add, what I would take out, or if it's just a great agreement. If it's great, I'll say it's perfect. Don't do nothing to it. Same thing with your flyers and brochures or whatever you're marketing. You want to have an irresistible offer. That's what makes them pick up the phone. That's what makes them say they want to go with you. That irresistible offer. You got to have that irresistible offer. Okay? So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'll go ahead and let you go. See here. The same owner? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would say up the price a little bit if you have to, Miguel. But look, guys, that's going to do it for now. The only person that can ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you.